Hi, I'm Heidi from Garden Crossings, and I wanted to give you an update on how the hanging baskets are doing that were planted about 4 or 6 weeks ago. So we're finally getting some sun and some warmth here in West Michigan, and the plants are loving it. They're finally starting to fill out a little bit and put on some of their beautiful spring color. So when we plant our hanging basket, our target day is obviously Mother's Day. That's when we want these to be nice and full. So we have another, probably a good month and a half or so before these have to be filled out and ready for sale on the sales floor. But because some of them are really putting on some fantastic color, I wanted to show you today and talk about some of the plants that we used here to come up with these container combinations. So the first one we have here is called Coral Shores, and we'll go in and show you the flowers a little bit closer here. We have the Supertunia Royal Velvet, which is a beautiful deep purple. We have that paired with Super Bell's Coral Sun, beautiful shades of coral and yellow. And then to kind of complement and accent the whole thing, we have the Super Bell's Yellow. So I'm enjoying this color combination, just that bright color. And I talk about, I don't use orange a lot, but using orange with the purple and the yellow, I think really is a very striking look here for this Coral Shores combination. I'm a purple girl, so you know I'm going to gravitate towards the mixes of purple coloration. This here is a combination called Over the Moon. And Over the Moon is a mix of 2 Super Bells and 1 Mini Vista Supertunia. So we've got the beautiful white Over Easy Super Bell, which is white with just that little splash of yellow in the center. Kind of reminds you of an Over Easy egg. And then we also have this Mini Vista Plum Vein. I really like the color of this plum vein. It's a newer variety of Supertunia, part of the Mini Vista series. So they are excellent not only for in containers, but also for in the landscapes. And they've got that purple with that deeper reddish magenta purple veining that really adds a very interesting splash. And then, of course, one of my favorites is Super Bell's Great Punch. I love the deep, dark purple blooms of Great Punch. And the thing to point out with Great Punch is the flower size of this Super Bell is one of the largest of all the Super Bell flowers in our Super Bells collection. Don't worry about you shade lovers. I've got you covered. This next basket we have here is called Cherries Jubilee. And actually, as I was walking through, I'm like, oh, that's something different. We have not grown this one before. So I wanted to show you what we have in the combination Cherries Jubilee. To start off, in the center of the pot, we have the Coleus Color Blaze Cherry Drop. Now this Coleus, we only put 1 in because it does get quite large in the combination, but it's going to bring that neat foliage element to this basket. It's got shades of green and burgundy and even some bright pink in there, and that's going to pair really well with that Rocapoco Rose Double Impatient. I love the Rocapoco roses because they look like little rose buds. And then to complement this planter one further, we have the Trinia, and it's a Trinia Summer Wave Large Blue. Now the Trinias haven't quite started flowering yet, so that's why we're showing you the tag. But imagine that beautiful pink with the purple. That is going to look really stunning for a shade basket. If bright and bold is in your color scheme, Bold Expression is going to just be something I think that's going to really fit the bill there. So Bold Expression is a planter that has all Supertunias in it. It's got one of my favorites, the Supertunia Saffron Finch, which I think is such a bright, crisp, clean yellow. It's my favorite yellow, I think, of all of the Supertunias and Super Bells. It's such a beautiful color. We have it mixed with the ever popular, this is a Supertunia Royal Velvet. Royal Velvet has been around for many, many years, and it's just one of those tried and true Supertunia varieties that people have come to fall in love with over the years. And then to add that contrast and that bright splash of color, we have the Supertunia Vista Paradise. I love Vista Paradise as well because it's got great vigor. It's going to be just a plant that is going to take off in this combination and just really put on a show of color. So when we planted this up, we put 1 Paradise to 2 of the Royal Velvet to 2 of the Saffron Finch, because we know when we plant these vistas in, they have more vigor and more flower power than some of the other Supertunias, and we don't want the basket to be really heavy on one color, so that's our way of trying to balance it out a little bit to give you a beautiful, bold expression of color. The combination Tiara Sparkles is a new one for us this year, and we took the Supertunia Tiara Blue and the Supertunia Tiara Pink and blended them together with the Lobularia White Knight for a combination. Now, when we planted these up, we knew that the Tiara Pink is very aggressive. That one is definitely a 1 pink to 2 blue ratio, because the pink just really does a big job of filling out containers and baskets with color. We also planted in here White Knight, choosing the more or the less aggressive of the Lobularia, so that it wouldn't get quite so wild and so free. Now, as we step back and look at these baskets, they are looking a little bit wild and free right now. So these will need to undergo a trim before we do bring them out to the back greenhouses and hang them up. So we'll see how this one looks. My opinion, by looking at it right now, I think it's going to be a little bit wild looking, but maybe once we get them hung up, toned down a little bit, it'll be more dense and just a nice blend of color. And I think the reason why I'm looking at them and thinking wild is because of the Lobularia that we put with them. White Knight usually is pretty well behaved and does well in combinations, but right now, from what I'm seeing, it's feeling like it's a lot a bit much for these baskets. So this will be a basket we will be updating you on as the spring and as the summer goes along, so we can just kind of let you know how it did once it got to its ready to sell state. I know I'm gravitating to purple again. Here we have the Supertunia Jazz Quartet hanging basket, and this is a new one for us this year, so we'll see how it does. I think it has a unique blend of kind of purples put together with a little splash of white. We have the Supertunia Royal Velvet, which is that deep dark purple, mixed with Supertunia Vista Jazzberry, which that's a great blend. And then we added in the Supertunia Hoopla Vivid Orchid as well, just to kind of round this off with its third plant. Now, I'm hoping that this Hoopla white here on the edge really kind of accentuates and makes that the Hoopla pop in this basket. So this is one, it's always when you try something different and try something new, you're never exactly sure what it's going to look like, so you have to try things to see how they work. And I'm excited to see how this combination, this mix of flowers, does together in this Jazz Quartet combination. I think it should be pretty. I mean, purple, you can't go wrong with purples, right? And I think they're very complementary colors to one another. So I'm thinking it should turn out pretty good. But again, another one we'll keep you updated on as the season progresses. And the last basket we're going to look at today is another one for you shade lovers. And this one here is a new basket we're trying this year, and it's called Ring of Fire. So here we're using a lot of the nonstop begonias along with 2 different plants that will be trailing over the edge of the pot. One thing I want to start off by saying is the nonstop fire begonia has a lot of different colors that it can present as. So here we took this basket. This is the nonstop fire that's in here. And then we picked these blooms off of another pot just to show you the variation in color that you can get from the begonia nonstop fire. Quite an array from yellow to peachy to orange, which I think is really pretty because you're getting a lot of colors off of one plant. We also have it paired with the nonstop red begonia. So your red and your orange and that little splash of yellow are going to be the primary colors in this hanging basket. And then trailing over, we have the wire vine and also the Dichondra Silver Falls. So the nice thing about that wire vine and the Dichondra Silver Falls is it's going to kind of fill in amongst these begonias, just kind of fill in all the spaces. And then as it grows, it's going to trail over. So this plant will have a nice filler look at the top of it. And then with all of those trailing vines spilling over, it's going to be a really stunning shade combination. If you have any questions or comments on any of the baskets that you've seen in the store today, it's so pretty as we're standing here and just kind of panning over and seeing all of the beautiful splashes of color that are starting to emerge. Definitely signs of spring are here in the greenhouse, and we can't wait until it's actually spring outdoors as well. If you are local to Garden Crossings, our retail store that I'm in right now opens on April 11, and we'll actually be kicking off that weekend, the 11th and the 12th, with our planting party. So you can come in and plant up a hanging basket or a container, and we'll hold on and grow that for you until Mother's Day. And it's a lot of fun to get in and get your hands dirty. Well, it's still kind of too cold to be doing that outside here in West Michigan. Thanks for watching. I'm Heidi from Garden Crossings.